Hi guys.
There we're back. Oh, look, I'm on top of Vicky today. Ooh, look at you. I'm lucky. Vicky, it's a twofer. Anyway, so it was
Well,
this is
Well, ladies, what can we say?
that was a good let me
Yeah.
just say let me just say it was a
Where's our special surprise?
we
yeah,
decided
sorry,
that
I'm
it was
waiting
probably
for.
apropos because you
Yeah.
ended on a serious note in the beginning of the
Yeah.
show when you guys were talking for the first 15 minutes. I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. And then all of a sudden, because you have a scientist on, you were like, so let's dissect this. I'm like, yeah, now this little bit that we were going to do is probably going to then just bring us down 3 steps socially and physically. So we figured we'll just save it for another day.
All
Huh?
right.
Okay.
So not to
But it
worry.
was,
We have
was
it
a
in the
great
queue. It was a great
great
show.
show, ladies. Great show.
Yes.
So-
Great
And
show. To be totally honest, you've made me completely miserable. Because
Yay.
well, and all I can say is
yeah,
thank you.
because thank you. Because you just all seem to you're all just wonderful, fantastic people, and just seem to have all these great struggles in life, and just trying to find that Mr. Right. Apart from Ash, who's already found him. I understand you're having your husband cloned, so yeah. It's disappointing, I think, because I hope loads of guys watch this show and think, oh, these are really lovely ladies. So these sort of ladies I'd like to have a relationship with.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
hope that too.
At the men's prison, we get a lot of requests for your phone numbers, and we're giving them out, so it's good. But no, let me just say this though. Before and for Vicky, don't worry. All the high school boys I meet, I give you your numbers. But
No, legal.
I
College boys.
check their ID. I'm sorry, college freshmen. But what was interesting is you're welcome. I have female friends, and I've had female friends for years. And, it's like that, like you said, it's brother and sister. So if I have a female friend, whether I'm married or single, and they're in the sister zone, then that's it. For the next 100 years, they're like the sister. And if there's sexual tension, great. At some point, that dissipates, right? Because there's the mental stimulation, and there's this and there's that, and blah, 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 blah. I don't want to mention any names, Rachel, who seems to be very shallow. You're only 3 foot. First of all, here's what I have to say. I've met Rachel, and really, she's only this tall in real life as well. So when Rachel says she dates,
Barbie
that's
size.
true. Right, Barbie size. But when Rachel says she wants tall men, at 4 feet, you tower over her. So the fact that then you want a tan guy with muscles, apparently, and you want to blow in his ear and have a wind tunnel. Interesting.
That's not what I want. Here's the thing.
It's always the short girls that want tall guys. It's always the
I
short
know.
ones.
Yes.
I am attracted to tall men. I have dated tall men, but it does not mean that I limit myself. I have dated shorter men. Now, when I say shorter, like you said, everyone's taller than me.
What's short to you?
Right. What's short to you? Yeah. What's short to you, Rachel?
Yeah.
Because my
Yeah.
husband's my height.
So, my high school boyfriend, one of them, he was 5'5".
But he wasn't. You were 4'5". then.
I've been the same height. I'm 5'1" all my life.
Right. You came out at 5'1". Oh, amazing. My mom. So
Yeah, so 5'5" to me was short.
okay.
And it was more about his confidence. He had low confidence and low self-esteem about it.
Okay.
So for me, it was the confidence attraction. What attracts me is confidence. So
Napoleon.
That's true.
is
A lot of
perfect
guys
for
who are
you.
shorter than me won't date me because it's their hang up, not mine.
So
Right,
it's
right.
Not
I
always
agree
on
with
the
that.
girls'
Oh
end.
wow!
I'm looking.
I-
That's what the article said. Women are searching for confidence.
Yeah.
That's what they're attracted to.
Right.
So,
Well,
that's-
I love tall women.
I'm not
It's
talking about my height.
it's just more real estate, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah. Well,
I don't
tall
understand.
girls lay longer in bed. So that's true. Yeah. So, but the other thing,
not that, but it's just you've just got
no,
just
it is
got
true
more
because of the
women.
real estate.
It's-
Yeah, you just have to think through that. The scientists will get it. She's
yeah.
going to do an equation later.
Agreed.
It'll be fun. But here's the thing that I also found interesting. Wait, David, if I may, when you guys were talking about hookups, to be a fly on the wall for you guys. Not Ash, she's married. She's like, you already, she's 100 years old already. She's happy. She's good, But the three of you, when you do hookups, I would want to be a fly on the wall because I've got to believe that's got to be the funniest 30 seconds of anybody's life. So, like, when I met my wife and I only literally have sex when she wants something now, when she needs a time and egg. And I'm okay with that because it's, because we're with each other for other reasons. Thank you for getting that, Vicky. But it's, and I agree with you, like, but there is a desire at some point. So, yeah, if you have a need, you have a need. It's not, in our day, nobody cared. I don't care. Your generation's just crazy for us.
Yeah, I mean, can I just ask what
it's crazy for us too.
What exactly is defined as a hookup? Because that, I mean, to me, when somebody says I want to have a hookup, it sounds like they want to put a caravan on
a camper,
on a caravan. I mean,
what's a hookup?
Define that, because for me, I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean, and I'm sure a lot of people don't either. So what is a hookup?
I think a hookup is just physical, sexual contact.
Oh, you mean
a one night stand?
You mean commitment of a relationship?
Okay, so you mean like an FUCK buddy? Yeah, right. Yeah, got it.
Now I've never had the benefit, and that's because it was a mutual understanding between a friend of mine, friends and I. Like, we're not in the space where we want relationships with anybody, but we're human. We have needs, and a friend is
that's good.
So it's like friends with benefits.
But
just
can I ask this question though? Yeah. But you guys, the biggest thing that I heard all of you, and Ashley kinda mentioned it, but you three really bring it up all the time. And Ashley, it seems more she wants mental stimulation and great, and so it's a good thing that she's with Albert Einstein. But the thing that you guys kept bringing up, and I'm being tongue in cheek. You guys kept saying you want someone that respects you, whether it's a hookup or not, respects me, my needs, my this.
Yeah.
I guess
disappointing.
I did too, because I'm shocked at that. Because when I was a kid and we would do hookups back in the day, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, you had to because you would die when you were 30. But we respected the people we were going to bed with. Like, you kind of knew what each other wanted from each other, but you kind of like you guys, and certainly Vicky. I mean, granted, they're 23 years old. How long can they last? But I mean, it's like, it sounds like it's wham, bam, up.
It's fine, because 5 minutes later we can do it again.
I know, right? Anyway. So, but my point is, that's congratulations. But it's really sad that you have to say, I want someone who respects me or like satisfies me or that. And I hear that from male and female, that no one satisfies anybody anymore. Yeah. And I'm not sure if it's because our attention span is gone or not. Yeah.
I think
oh, sorry, go ahead, Reg.
Oh, mine's really quick. I was just going to say, with the dating app culture, I think people just are starting to look at others as disposable. I mean, you can, you can have a different on the apps. You can have a different person every night of the week. You never have to see them again. There's just an endless supply of people, and I think that doesn't help us develop respect for each other.
It's just all shallow, isn't it? You just swipe. You just swipe on, then the next one, then the next one,
and the next one. Yep.
But I'd have to agree. I mean, that the real sexuality in a woman is not the bits that you're physically drawn towards, but it's the intellect.
Yep.
And it's nothing more stimulating than having a stimulating conversation with a woman, and it's it's just, like I say, I was quite sad to listen to you guys. I just want to give you all a hug. It's not. I can't.
Wait, is that a creepy uncle? Is that a creepy uncle type of hug, or is that like a friend hug?
The one behind him. That's the creepy uncle. That guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's my glasses. The creepy uncle.
Wait, I have a question. I don't understand. I've heard this a lot, that women now are attracted to a dad bod. I don't know what that is. Like, I had to look up thruple the last time when you guys put that in our chat. They're like, we're going to discuss thruples. I'm like, what the fuck is a thruple? And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, I see.
That's a topic I want to talk about.
All right. So what is a dad bod?
It is a softer version of a fit man in his 20s.
So the Pillsbury Doughboy, got it.
No,
So-
not
Soft,
somebody who.
what you mean soft in the head, or
Fit, but not after they retire.
Paul Rudd
Is he-
is a perfect example of a dad bod.
Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd. He's
Okay.
not
and
like
who's he?
muscly. He's not, thick or fat. He has a comfortable body.
Imagine a man that sort of works on his health, but he's got a family and kids, and he can't spend hours in the gym. So he's not letting himself
And he's
just
eating all of
completely
their-
go, but he can't be. Imagine that.
He's eating their cookies
So
while
I
he's
have-
packing their lunch.
So I have a dad bod because I smoke scotch and cigars, and that keeps me healthy. Got it. All right, good. So
No, you don't have a dad bod because you're running laps and miles and shit.
yeah, I do 8,000 other things. No, I have a different.
You're
I
not
don't
in
know
the
what
category.
I have a body. That's all I have. I don't know. I've never been able to. I look in the mirror and I go, I like what I see, and then I see me naked and I scare myself. I turn the lights off. It's a whole thing.
No one
But
does that.
I know, right? But you guys are just.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated that, and maybe it's because people are more open. But back in our day at university, if you found a girl and it was your hookup or your friends with benefit, cool. If you dated her, cool. But you guys seem in this generation, and I don't know what age group this generation is, and I don't mean it because I think it's every age now. You guys seem to have lots of problems in dating. I'm glad that no. Finding a girl, trust me, when I lived here in 2015 was easy. Snap a finger, you can get a Bambi in about 30 seconds, right? But finding a girl that's intellectually stimulating for a guy, because that's what does it for me. Your first thing I'll notice of a girl is her looks. Looks are important, right? That will fade in about 20 minutes because the looks will always
Well,
me.
in
I'll
6
say
months
hello.
mostly.
Well, 20 minutes. 'Cause remember, I time an egg. But after that, I want to be able to have a dialogue with you about whatever. You know what I mean? It's just I don't want to hear about Louis Vuitton every day. And so I find that, and I was that way when I was at university, and I've always been that way. So to hear some of this, it's like, wow. It's like either the guys have gotten stupider or shallower, or to one of the points, everyone's disposable, but no one seems to want to be with someone because, I told my wife, you're my best friend, which is good. And I also love you, which is also good, right? Now, my mistress, she's just my mistress, so she understands. But anyway, it's just what I'm
You're doing
kidding.
so well.
I know, right? I had to bring the levity, but I don't get that point where you guys have all these issues, and I don't remember us having the problem of, the girls are smart. And if they weren't, you just didn't date them. Some guys want dumb girls for whatever reason, but really it's so pathetic that we're in the society today where you guys are saying that people are just disposable. Not you per se, but
it's the FOMO,
you know what I mean?
FOMO life.
Fear of missing out.
Not FOMO, not. It's like, there's someone else out there better, and I'm stuck with this person, so I'm gonna, keep going. Oh, yay, Ranch disappeared again.
Yeah. I just wonder. One of the great things about having you all on the show is that you're all switched on. And do you think that's an issue for a lot of men? They don't like women who can think.
Maybe.
I think it kind of lends it. Well, going back to what Steven said, and actually going back to the article, Vicky, that you brought up earlier, maybe it's that women don't want men, full stop, period, right now. I think it was a lot
in South
easier.
Korea,
I think it was a lot easier back 20, 30 years ago because women didn't really have a lot of...
Ash, if that's the point, then why are you all discussing the fact that you want a man? Apart from yourself, you already has one.
But no, I think that women had lower standards because they were
You needed a husband to
survive
in society. You absolutely
needed a husband.
You couldn't have your own bank account. You couldn't own your own house.
Really? 30 years ago, you could. 30 years ago, you could. You own your bank account. You could own a house. And I came from Wall Street back in the 1880s, and women then were doing it.
Checking accounts and credit weren't a thing until the 80s. And having
welcome to America.
Yeah, and having a job that you could support yourself as a woman was few and far between. It wasn't as accessible as it was to men. And so, you depended on a partner to bridge that socioeconomic spot in your life. Well, now that we don't need that because, we're, I wouldn't say thriving, but we're better off than we were. Now we're removing that from the equation and we're going for qualities for, intellect or looks or whatever. We have different standards. So we've just shifted our focus of the conversation a little bit. So I think it's now men are having a hard time because they realize that they can't, depend on, I'll just pay for your stuff to get them by.
Right. Yeah,
that's
Stephen, pay attention.
By the way,
yeah,
I'm listening. That's a whole nother relationship, by the way. To pay for your stuff. That's a whole nother show.
Sugar daddy's obsession.
Yeah,
100%. Like
growing up, especially in South Korea. I didn't grow up in South Korea, but I grew up with both cultures, and a lot of the times you were told to study hard for girls, study hard, get into a really good college. Because once you're at that really good college, then you can meet a husband.
Then you get your MRS. Yeah.
So it wasn't
MRS degree. That was my mom. Yep.
That you can have a great career for yourself and be independent. It wasn't that. It was study hard, get to a good college, meet a good husband, who will then take care of you.
I'm looking for a sugar-free daddy. I don't really like to have sex with people I don't like, as we've discussed in the show. But if there are any sugar-free daddies out there that
she was a monk fruit daddy,
girl, I'm tired, and I could.
So basically, you want a platonic sugar daddy.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
All right, there you go.
So a lot of sugar daddies are platonic.
They are
because they're in Rachel's age category. They're 95 years old. And they can't
what about a compromise? And you go for a daddy light then?
I'm sorry, what did you say, David?
Yeah.
You go for a daddy light or daddy
light.
Zero.
What's
Just
a daddy light?
just
Zero?
like 2%.
Well, that's slightly less sugar. Slightly less sugar or no sugar at all.
Yeah, we're no sugar.
A
lot of women are breadwinners now. 40% of the population actually makes more. The female makes more in the relationship. I'm one of those as well.
Yeah, especially in South Korea, once you have a baby, you're pretty much out of the workforce. So not only, you did have a good job and you got married and, you have a kid, which there's a lot of pressure once you're married to have a child, then, you can't get your job back. You can't get a job back. You're expected to stay home and take care of that kid. And a lot of women are like, I'm not gonna, at least U.S. isn't that great either as far as providing, childcare and all that kind of stuff. But at least it's a little better where you can get back into the workforce and you can, resume your career and et cetera. But that's another issue they're having.
But
at least here in Europe, you have the opportunity to say, like, okay, I've been out of the workforce for X number of years looking after my children. And so therefore I'll have those years of my husband's pension. They're now mine. I claim
What is a pension? No, that doesn't exist anymore.
You know what a pension is?
No. Not in America. There's no company that gives a pension anymore. Maybe General Electric. Not in the U.S. Maybe GE. That's about it.
These are not necessarily company pensions.
Well,
but you have an opportunity. You have a right because you step out of the marketplace.
That's
as such because you know.
We don't have that. We don't have that anymore.
Get that money back again.
But you're saying everything what women want, and I think men too now. What we want now is shifted. It's different from before.
Yep.
And you say you're best friends with your wife and you love her. That's what we all want. We want a companion.
You guys want to be best friends with my wife and love her? Great. Less for me to do. Come over.
There's this whole conversation. Yeah.
There we go. Now I understand it. But wait, let me just. Right. But let's go back in history, if we may. So there's a book called The World. I'm assuming no one's read it but me.
It brings us up every show. I got to read this.
Because it's great. There's no pictures. Mine does because I draw. But anyway, what's interesting about it, up until about the 1700s CE, you lost all your power. Because when you go back to day one, when they started to keep records, you guys had the power. You guys were emperors, empresses, kings, queen. You were running countries. You were running armies. Don't shake your head, Ashley. Read the history book. If you went to school in Texas, I know they don't teach it.
They had like a cabinet of men around them telling.
No. Most of the emperors.
These are all matriarchal.
If you read about just say China, most of them talk to their concubines. Most of them talk to their mistresses. If you read Europe, if you read it's fascinating. And I was shocked because, I mean, I knew about it, but I mean, this really delves into it. You guys had lots of power. And then somewhere along the line, because you know how those white European males are, you lost it. And not you per se, not the four of you, you didn't go up one day, go, we're losing it. And now you're getting it back. So it really is history repeating itself and whatnot. So it's very, very cool. And you just have to keep that in mind. Like, you guys are now coming back. It's kind of like China. China was a superpower until the 16th century, 17th century. They're coming back. You guys were a superpower until 300 years ago. You're coming back. So nothing here is new. It's just all of a sudden now somebody woke up and a generation said, boom. And that's it.
Let's wait. Let's wait and see how America new is when it has its first female president. Then we can talk about.
That would be awesome.
Then we can talk about. You could talk then about equality in the US, but until that happens, you know, it's just it's a lot of talk, but the glass ceiling's still there. You know, so.
I think we just listen. I think we should have a female president. I think Hillary was great because she ticked all the boxes. She would have converted to be a Jew. She's already a lesbian, and she would have been something else. And we would have been great. We had all the boxes in one shot. And she has a cockhold husband. And it's very nice. So right away, we're all good. But yes, I really wish we could get a female president because all the countries have had their prime ministers or whatever, and they've done a great job. And that goes back thousands of years, or even into the 60s, 70s, and 80s with Golda Meir and the rest of them. Margaret Thatcher.
I mean, you look at Finland, you know, of Denmark, I think it is, and the New Zealand Prime Minister. She was fabulous. It's the same with women CEOs.
Even South Korea had one.
To do a lot better.
Yeah,
that went well.
I think of the first female future president of the U.S. and just so much weight and burden and pressure she's going to have on her shoulders. I feel like, oh gosh, I feel so anxious for her.
If I can understand things properly in life, if you can give birth to a child, you can be a president of a country. So
there you go. That would be a good way to end the show, I think. What do you think?
I think it would.
Ashley, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining. It's nice that you guys brought like a scientist on so we couldn't do the gig. Thanks a lot.
Smart.
Ladies,
right? To this, right?
Yes, we need some academia now. How smart. And ladies, it's always a pleasure. Don't forget, everybody, to subscribe and like. Leave your comments below. For you university students that want to get a hold of Vicky, let me know. I'll take care of that. For you sugar-free sugar daddies, we get a hold of for you. And Rachel, I'll go to the nursing home and see what I can do for you. Because Vicky brought it up that you like much older men on the show, and that's the running game that we have. You did. Oh, that's what I heard.
Now.
I feel like I've been wrongly accused. I don't think I ever said that.
You just said I like older men.
Well, tune in next week, guys, when the conversation continues. And
there you go.
Stay with us, everybody. After the credits are finished, for a little bit of in-house
cleaning.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Did I say
it already, huh, Dave?
Steven?
You killed the entrance. You killed it, huh, Dave?